When Florida State law professor Dan Markel was murdered in 2014, he was in the middle of a nasty custody battle with his wife, Wendy Adelson, who is the daughter of a prominent and very wealthy South Florida family. Markel was shot in his driveway. His wife, who was an obvious potential suspect, had an alibi. Eventually, investigators arrested and tried this couple, Catherine Magbanua and Sigfredo Garcia. Prosecutors believe Garcia killed Markel for the Adelson family and that Magbanua set it all up.
She wasn't involved. She doesn't have the answers that people want her to have.
At trial, Catherine Magbanua denied knowing anything about the murder.
Did you have anything to do with the murder of Dan Markel?
No, ma'am.
But prosecutors believe that Magbanua is the connection between Garcia, the trigger man, and the Adelson family because she was previously in a relationship with Wendy Adelson's brother, Charlie, who had even once joked about hiring a hitman to kill Dan Markel.
Do you ever joke about he looked into hiring a hitman, but buying you a TV as a divorce present would be cheaper?
He did make that joke.
The jury found Garcia guilty of murder but couldn't come to a unanimous decision on Catherine Magbanua. If Magbanua wasn't involved, Charlie Adelson would have had to have hired Garcia on his own, which prosecutors say is unlikely because they didn't know each other.
I am 100% convinced that Charlie Adelson somehow contacted Sigfredo Garcia without letting Catherine know.
Part of that deal was Charles Adelson breaking up with Catherine so that Sigfredo could get back the woman that he loved so much.
None of the Adelsons, who prosecutors clearly believe were involved, have yet been charged in Dan Markel's murder. Catherine Magbanua, meanwhile, remains in jail, waiting her retrial.
And Magbanua trying to get out of jail because, the jury was hung. Listen, you're presumed innocent. We've got COVID going on, all these reasons to be let out of jail. Let's bring in news reporter from WXTL TV down in Tallahassee, our friend Jada Williams. Jada, great to see you. Magbanua, she wants to get out of jail. What did the judge say?
Well, the judge said that it's not going to happen. Her attorney said that they wanted her to come out of jail because of COVID, because she has kids back at home. But most importantly, they said that that hung jury from the last trial about a year ago was enough proof that they didn't have the evidence. Now, the judge said, on the contrary, there's enough evidence that means that she should stay behind bars until her trial comes back up.
All right, so she's going to stay locked up, so I'm sure the defense is going to push for another trial as quickly as it can get done with all the circumstances that are happening right now. But the one question that we have every time with this case is the Adelson family. Prosecutors say this is a murder for hire, that the Adelson family wanted this man dead. Yet no one from the Adelson family has ever been charged, have they?
Still no charges for the Adelson family. And of course, every time you bring it up with the prosecutors, well, they say that it's still, they're still going through the facts of the case. And one of those things especially came up in court was that, well, there is the likelihood that more charges could come up. But again, it's been about a year since the last trial where Sigfredo Garcia was found guilty, and still no charges for the Adelson family. So it looks like perhaps what happens with Catherine Magbanua's trial could perhaps bring something back up. But as of right now, it's a bit of an unknown with where the prosecution's going.
Yeah, because part of the problem now for prosecutors is Magbanua at the trial testified and under oath said, I had nothing to do with it. I did not set this whole thing up. I have no knowledge of Charlie Adelson or anyone from the Adelson family wanting the professor dead. So at this point, she's useless to prosecutors because they can't put her on the stand because she's got a completely different story. I mean, she's useless in any case against the Adelsons. She could actually testify for the Adelsons if they ever get in trouble. So do we have any idea at this point, Magbanua and her relationship with Charlie Adelson, they were like, how close were they, do we think? And was there money exchanging hands, or why would she even get involved in this, according to prosecutors and their theory?
Well, what came up in court was that, of course, Charlie Adelson was dating Catherine Magbanua at the time. They brought up money exchange, text messages, and things of that nature. One of the big things was a Lexus that once belonged to Harvey Adelson, who is the father of the Adelson family, and then it was turned into Catherine Magbanua's car. Now, the prosecution saying that it was this nice luxury car that was gifted to Catherine Magbanua a little bit after the murders. The defense saying that it wasn't that great of a car. It had a lot of work that needed to be done on it, and she bought it with money that she earned working as a shop girl and working in the dental office, paid about $3,000. So every time that there comes up this cash exchange between the Adelson family and Magbanua, there's the prosecution saying that it's evidence, but then you have the defense who's saying, well, this is her boyfriend's family. They tried to help her out as best they can without giving her any sort of a handout or any proof that they're just putting these material things and this money into her hands.
Is there any more clamoring there in Tallahassee for charges against someone associated with the Adelson family?
There will always be the clamoring in Tallahassee. A lot of people are very touched by the story, and they want to see the justice for Dan Markel. He was a big name in Tallahassee while he was here, and every time it comes back up, there are people saying that something needs to be done. The Adelson family believing that they had some sort of a connection to it, and every time it comes back up, the people in the community are asking, and they're hammering the state attorney and the prosecutor, trying to get to the bottom of why there haven't been any charges yet.
Jada Williams, WXTL in Tallahassee. Great to catch up with you. We will speak again. Thanks.
Thank you.
And we're going to continue tracking this one. We've got a case management hearing on December 3rd. No trial date set yet, but hopefully on December 3rd they'll set the date, and we'll continue to follow this one for you.